I'm like eating at this point before this episode of Survivor starts. This will be episode 2. Hour-long stuff still continues. I know it's a bad idea to be eating while watching this show, but I'm hungry, bro. So what am I gonna do about it? I'm also not trying to breathe into this mic too much because, I mean, I got the filter and everything like that, but you can probably still hear me when I do it when I laugh, so I'll try and keep it down. Anyway, episode 2. What the fuck? They brought the intro back? I'm like looking at it thinking, no way. And they brought the intro back. Yeah. Okay, I reached the first commercial break. Here's what I've noticed so far. In the Red Tribe, I guess the second alliance of the season was formed with the Ivy League person, Mama J, the guy who found the first Beware advantage, and then Mama J's best friend. I don't really see a problem with it. No immediate like, oh, well, that's a bad idea kind of thoughts going off in my head. Yeah, that's definitely a powerful group considering the Beware advantage. But even then, it's like 3-2. Not really much anyone can do at that point. In the Blue Tribe, it's funny because that tribe has the first alliance of the season with like those September girls and whatnot. But the focus is always on Bruce. You know what I mean? He just dominates the screen. No one really talked about anything else. It was just about Bruce. So we'll see what happens there. As for the Yellow Tribe, it seems like it's everyone versus Emily. It was weird that the one girl had to say that she had to, basically solidify the alliance. Considering how much of like a danger Emily has been to everyone in that tribe, it's weird that she had to feel that she had to solidify that alliance. You know what I mean? I mean, all the editing has done so far has made me feel like Emily is just the worst. You know what I mean? Like the one person that everyone would, no matter what, unite against. That's all I've ever seen with Emily when it comes to the editing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Emily's thinking. Maybe she's a recruit or something. But, I mean, it's not the worst start to a game I've ever seen. But, I mean, it almost was that. The only reason why she didn't get voted out night 1, I feel like, was because of Hannah. So, Jesus. Anyway, my favorites so far. For Red, it's still Sifu for me. Lighthearted guy. For Blue, I don't really know much from Blue because it's all about the September Alliance and then Bruce. And I guess I would vote for Bruce just for underdog status at this point. Even though he's played before, but he really hasn't. And as for the Yellow Tribe, I don't know who I'd go for in the Yellow Tribe. Because so far I haven't really heard much about them. Other than they can't stand Emily. You know? No real personalities over on the Yellow Tribe except for Emily. I suppose I'd root for Brendan. Because he did what I would have done in that scenario, which is not take the Beware advantage. And like let someone else have it. That's a decent strategy. And I'm finally getting to see it like play out. So I'm rooting for Brendan. That's what it is so far. We'll see what happens next. Okay, second commercial break. Here's what we got. We had a beginning of a little bit of a Emily redemption arc, but also not really because it seems like no matter what, they're just gonna vote her out anyways if they go to tribal council again. So it's one of those situations where it's like, oh, you tried to change, but it's too late for that. Sucks for her. Anyway, the only other thing to talk about is the Risk Your Vote challenge. I like that it was a challenge this time, as opposed to like the prisoner's dilemma or whatever. I like that. So it was. Well, let's talk about what the Ivy Leaguer said. Bruce didn't really give any information, and then the Ivy Leaguer called it a bad move. Maybe it was, but at the same time, he's on a tribe where it's like he's the only returning player, and they could use anything to vote you out. I mean, they just did that with Emily, so I don't really think it was a bad move. If anything, you don't want to prove that you have loose lips. So, If anything, I think it was a good move by Bruce not to say anything or to not play the challenge. I'm pretty sure that was also a good move. Like, why do that? Like, if you know you can't vote and you have to tell them that, they're definitely never going to trust you. You know what I mean? So, goodbye, Bruce. Uh, Goodbye both Drew and Brandon to play the game. They should have done that because they already had like solid groups behind them. You know what I mean? In the case of Brandon, it was the anti-Emily club, and in the case of Drew, I don't even remember what his name is. I think it was Drew, but the Ivy Leaguer. He already had like a strong foursome. Of course, one of them can't vote. But either way, he got an advantage, which just lets him leave the tribal council. I guess he's gonna be there for a while. You know what I mean? He's talking about how, oh, I'm gonna be the king of this island or something like that. I'm gonna build an army of something like that. Yeah. Definitely, the editing wants me to think that Drew, like, this Ivy Leaguer is like probably one of the better players of the game. So I guess he's gonna be here for a while. No real bad gameplay as far as I'm concerned, but it was like he poor Brendan, man. This is like probably one of the worst starts. And again, I've seen worse starts, but I mean he passed out in the first challenge almost drowned. And then in the immunity challenge, he was really slow and really lagging the tribe down. And then he gets to a puzzle where he doesn't have to do anything physical, and he messed that up. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, the Yellow Tribe's just nothing but redemption, because it's like, can Emily redeem herself from like her terrible start, and can Brendan win a freaking challenge? You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, after the third commercial break, here's what I've got so far. So I don't remember his name, but the guy who pointed out to Brendan, dude, what are your strengths? Yeah, this is basically what I said. Is like, because Brendan's been bombing it. He's been botching and bombing since day one. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know what they're trying to tell me when it comes to something like that. Like, hopefully he wins a challenge at this point. You know, I feel like I have to root for him now at this point, because I mean, like, it's fail after fail, and he's got to get one, right? And then I want to see him get that one before he gets voted out, if he gets voted out. I guess that's my player, is Brendan. Hopefully he makes it far. As for the Blue Tribe, I finally learned more about the tribe other than Bruce. It seems like it's split again, so it's like 2 girls, 2 boys, and then it's like Brendo and Kelly in the middle, right? So those are the 2 power players currently right now. So suddenly that tribe became way more interesting, because it doesn't seem like it's just anti-Bruce. It seems like it's split down the middle, and who knows what those 2 are going to do. As for the Red Tribe, I would like to say their tribe dynamics, but it's really just Drew kind of just being in the best spot possible. You know what I mean? He has the advantage. He has a JT to his Steven, quote unquote. He's got 2 other allies, so no matter what, he has the votes. He's looking kind of he's looking dangerous. So that's what I got so far. I'm pretty sure the immunity challenge is next. Okay, so the Yellow Tribe lost again. Brendan's just having terrible start. Between the targets are Emily and Brendan. Tribal Council is about to start, so I guess I'm gonna give my guess what happens. I agree with the one guy who's trying to like make friends with Emily. Like, someone like that you'd rather just have on your side, especially now that their game's been blown up. Now they're just gonna be desperate. I don't know. And in situations like this, considering he's blown puzzles twice and isn't more the physical person, if I were on that tribe, I probably would vote out Brendan and keep Emily around. At the same time, though, I don't really know who else would be doing puzzles, because I mean, it doesn't look like the rest of the tribe knows puzzles very well. I'm not sure. I feel like they would get rid of Emily still. You know what I mean? In terms of Emily giving the shot in the dark away, I get it. I guess that's the best move she could possibly do because, I mean, a shot in the dark doesn't really have much chances to actually be safe. Like, how many times has it been played? How many times has it actually been successful? Not very many is the answer. I don't even think. Maybe one, but I think the answer is none. So giving it up just to try and, like, prove, hey, I'm not a threat, don't hurt me. I guess that was her best move. Now it's to see whether or not that bridge hasn't been burned yet. But I think it was burnt, so I feel like Emily will go home. But it could be Brendan, so we'll see what happens. All right, I have to get ready for work in a little bit, so I'll summarize what I just saw at Tribal Council real quick. Yeah, Brendan went home. I was wrong. At the same time, though, I'm not really surprised. I could have seen either option, really. So congrats to Emily. She's sort of redeeming her game so far. Poor Brendan, man. Poor Brendan. It sucks when it's like the challenges are your undoing. You know what I mean? It's like that's something you couldn't have stopped. Just period. Not really much to say. The previews made it seem like the Yellow Tribe's just gonna start breaking apart because she's going after Caleb. If Caleb goes home before Emily, I'm not sure what to say. There had to have been something crazy to happen for that. Blue Tribe, some dude looked like he was having a seizure over there, so we'll see what happens there. And as for the Red Tribe, maybe Drew isn't going to be the strongest game player ever if he was caught looking for an idol. So, yeah. It's interesting how this season's turning out. It looks like it's just going to be turns left and right. So, let's see how it goes. Anyway, that was episode 2. I'll see you guys for episode 3. Later.